Here's another pro tip to start your 2023. Let's say you're an investor and you're looking for a property that's still pre-selling, meaning it's still under construction and it will turn over within 3 to 5 years time or even sometime in the future, whenever that may be. What kind of document do we execute? What we normally do is execute a deed of assignment instead of the usual deed of absolute sale, and that will be between the assigner and the assignee. Now, what you have to find out as a buyer is what are the requirements of the developer of this particular property and what expenses would you have to incur. When you're buying pre-selling, especially if it's by a deed of assignment, you have to be very clear on the costs and who shoulders what. So for example, when it comes to deed of assignment, there usually is an assignment fee billed by the developer. Usually this is shouldered by the seller or the assigner, and then there would also be capital gains tax on the part of the seller and also documentary stamp tax on the part of the buyer. So you have to ask your broker about these things just so that you know all the expenses involved when buying via deed of assignment. Now, this is usually being done especially for investors who purchase way early or during launch and then they sell it sometime prior to turnover and they want to exit. So it's very normal, nothing to be afraid of. Just make sure that you know all the costs involved in all the paperwork. Read through all the paperwork thoroughly so you understand everything. It's safe to do deed of assignment, and a lot of investors actually gain a wide profit margin by doing this. You also have to check because with some developers, they only allow deed of assignment one time. So you have to find out about the other developers and you have to ask the seller, is this the first time you're selling this property pre-selling, or are you the second owner pre-selling? Because if you're the second owner, they're not allowed to sell it again prior to turnover. Another thing you have to ask is how much percentage is the assigner already paid with the developer? Because some of them have rules, like for example, if they're already paid past 40% or past 70%, they're no longer allowed to sell their property via deed of assignment. So these are just some of the things you have to ask. One, are all the costs and expenses involved? And secondly is how many percent are you paid already? And third is this the first time this property is being sold prior to turnover? I know that might sound confusing, so if you want to know more details about it, feel free to contact us or message us in the comments below and we'll be happy to answer you.